Moore is going to return this week. And he, to me, is their best prospect. He's a legitimate guy that NFL teams are excited about. Strong safety. He's been out for a bit, but he's supposed to be back in the lineup. I think that's not only going to help their team, but I know NFL scouts are very much looking forward to seeing him again, get a feel for where he's at. This is a kid that I think has a chance to be pushing to get out of day 3 and into day 2. I really like this kid. Overall, a lot of undraftable guys. There are guys that are going to be right on that fringe, UDFAs. But the one intriguing kid that I think could move a little bit higher on offense is the Bruno Fina kid, the left tackle. I think 2 reasons. One, he's talented, 6'4.5", 306. He's got shorter arms at 32.5, so he's probably going to have to play guard. But I would bet, because his dad was a first-round pick and played a long time in the NFL, I would bet he understands that. I would bet he's been working on what it takes to play guard, and I'll bet you he understands what it's like to be a professional. So I think Fina is going to be a guy that maybe isn't getting a lot of pub now. I think someone on day 3 is going to take a shot on this kid. I think he's going to end up overachieving at the next level. They have 2 sort of guys at receiver, sort of overachiever types, Cooper Barkate and Samir Hagans. Barkate is 6'1", 195. Hagan's about 5'10", 190. Neither one of these guys is going to run away from you. They're good, solid receivers, sure-handed guys. I think both of them are undrafted type guys. I know I mentioned the Bruno Fina. Justin Pickett, the right tackle, a huge man, 6'7", 320. Not the athlete that Fina is, but a bigger guy, more of an undrafted guy. I think he's going to have some athletic issues at the next level. Defensively, DJ Anthony is a kid you mentioned to me a while back. Tall kid, 6'5", 250. Long arms, 34.5-inch arms. Good football player. I don't think he's got that suddenness, that rare twitch to be able to really challenge to be a guy that's going to be a starter. I think he's more of an undrafted guy. The kid that I like of their sort of undrafted consideration guys that I think really is more of a draftable guy, but his size is going to kill him, is Chandler Rivers, the corner. But he's 5'8.5", 184 pounds, 29.5-inch arms.
Right.
Those numbers are going to really make it tough for an NFL team to pull the trigger. But I think if you just watch the film and you didn't know how tall he was, I think you'd say he's definitely somewhere in that 5th to 7th round. But I do think as the NFL keeps getting bigger and bigger, those 5'8" guys, especially short arm guys, teams have a hard time pulling the trigger. So I think, although I like him as a draftable player, I think he's probably going undrafted. And safety Caleb Weaver, I think he's been a guy that people didn't expect a ton out of this year. The guy's just played good ball. Just under 5'11", 190, plays like his hair's on fire, good football player, and he's willing to hit. I like him as a guy that might slip in and maybe be drafted a little higher than people expect, or get a little more money as an undrafted free agent than people expect.
Yeah, you mentioned Chandler Rivers, and he's just a spectacular player. You watch the film, he's making plays all over the place, but you mentioned 5'8", kind of like, I think, Dante Dion back in the day coming out of Boise State, but there's just too many shortcomings, literally and physically speaking, that in the NFL, it just doesn't fly. And I've seen, draft Twitters got Chandler Rivers as a first-round draft pick, and that's why you've got to kind of weigh all the measurables and the variables. And when you got a guy who's 29-inch arms, 5'8", and light as a feather, those guys don't typically make it in the NFL. So it's tough.
It's a tough road to haul.
It'll have to be a special teams role.
Yep.
And then really you're just holding your breath if you do have to get them into game action because of the height and length limitations. But just
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
He should be on a CFL radar.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You get that kid. I mean, that's what you're looking for. The guy that's good enough to play in the NFL, but might get washed out because of size. He's the perfect guy to go up there, like Najee Murray. Been up there for about 7-8 years, and he's about 5'7", and this kid's bigger. So he's perfect CFL dude.
And I think fans don't realize the